Hello, it is Thursday, February 21st, 2013, and today's random screenshot comes from an unknown source with several people in the view. Good morning, Eorzea. Now Celestine here, and today, once again, it's a little bit light on the news, but we do have some information out there. First and foremost, yesterday was the PlayStation 4 announcement with the press conference. If you didn't pay attention to that, do take a look around. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of news articles about it by now. But for our records, we're just going to talk a little bit briefly about the Square Enix section of that. Square Enix is definitely supporting the PlayStation 4. They showed the tech demo for their Luminous Studio, which is their new engine. This unfortunately was the same demo they showed at E3 last year in a few other venues. While it is technically impressive, it was nothing new added to it, so it was kind of disappointing considering the hype of the event overall. Shinji Hashimoto-san, the brand director for Final Fantasy, eventually got up afterwards and announced, in a very, very brief tone, that a new Final Fantasy title will be announced and released later this year. I don't know about any of you, but that seems a little bit short notice for something. My only theory is, people can jump on this and tell me if I'm right or wrong, but my theory is that it's either the Final Fantasy X re-release for the PlayStation Vita, or who knows, we might actually get Final Fantasy Versus 13 eventually. And with that, let's move on to a little bit more Final Fantasy 14 related news. Today, some screenshots were posted from the PlayStation 3 beta tests. Now, the beta test itself isn't officially open, but the developers were showing off a little bit. As you can see here, you can see some shots of the Lalafels and some of the other races, testing out the new areas like Limsa and Ul'dah. Personally, I do like the new look for Limsa, especially the little canal there. And you can see some of the new outfits and 3D renders. The Rogadins definitely look pretty good, but I have to say, out of all the new hairstyles, I was personally really impressed with the Highlander female. That long hair in the front, that looks really nice to see. Also, the male Mikotes, you can see some of them look a little bit more manly than they were originally showing off, so, hey, you never know, maybe you can be more lying around with them. Ha ha! Well, speaking of male Mikotes, this brings us on to a special guest that we have on today. How would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Nahue from, the forum.
Welcome to the show, Nahue. How are you this morning?
I'm doing really well. The, PlayStation just finished watching the, polar, announcement, looking at the screenshots as well. I'm liking the crispness of it. Looks much crisper than 14, the A Realm Reborn is. It's really nice.
Anything in there that particularly stood out to you?
I like the roughly sideburns on the one of the male Mikotas.
I figured you'd probably notice something like that.
Yes. It's going to be interesting. Having a male Mikote and only having such little to go on, it's going to be interesting to see what my options are. But from what I'm seeing from male Mikote, it's nice that you have you not only have like the handsome aspect, but you also have like the rugged sort of aspect as well. So hopefully we'll see like a large variety of Mikote rather than just all super pretty handsome ones.
Yeah, give us a little bit more rougher around the edges and some of them that are a little bit more androgynous.
Agreed.
Well, I do believe, if I remember correctly, when they said they were going to release the benchmark, which I believe they're probably going to announce during the live letter, I think they also mentioned something about a character creation system that will be released as well.
Mm-hmm.
That'll definitely give a lot of players a chance to see some of the options that will be available.
Definitely, and with the new engine they're running, it'll be nice to see how our characters from 14 will look in A Realm Reborn, just with the upgraded graphics and everything. So it'll be nice to see that transition.
Now, when you were playing 1.0, you're assuming you were playing a female Makote, but you were disguised as a male or something?
No, actually. My character was initially female, and then I just decided, after hearing about male Makote, I just decided to do a gender swap, and I hadn't played my female Makote for more than a couple weeks, so I felt like I had not established her enough, so it was okay for me to just do a gender change.
Yeah, I suppose that can make some sense. So from the sounds of it then, did you get the legacy?
I do not have legacies. I started playing Final Fantasy 14, as soon as it came out, in release, and I played it for about a month or two, and then, I got bored with it, and, I came back this, past year, and played it for about a month or two, before it went down, so I never had the opportunity to get,
I see. A lot of the people that I've talked to are mostly Legacy members, so what's it like being on the other side of the fence?
I mean, I guess besides the fact that I have to pay an extra $5 a month, not much. It kind of stinks I won't get that chocobo mount, but I suppose I'll get off to look at that eventually.
From my understanding of the look of the chocobo, it's just darkened tips on the wings, and it's got design on the nose, but some of the armor designs look like they cover the wings and nose anyway, so most people probably wouldn't notice.
That's true. But I like to collect things, so it would be nice to have another thing to show, I guess.
I suppose, yeah, that makes a bit of sense. Were you able to get your Guibu mount or no?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah, that one you're missing out on, I'm sorry.
Missing out on, yeah.
Well, from your experience, though, from starting the game and then coming back in the last month, how much changed during that time period?
It was crazy. I mean, I remember distinctly in the beginning how very little content there was, and how, leaves were structured, and it was a lot more, grindy. And then, when I came back to it, it was just the ease of getting back into the game. They definitely made it easier for new players or returning players to get back into the game. Made leaves easier. And then just the content, like the extra side quests and stuff like that. I just think they did a lot to improve on that. I'm excited for what A Realm Reborn will bring to the table.
According to the official timeline, the Phase 1 beta, they are going to be testing the speed of leveling, so hopefully it stays in tune with how it was going there. But do you feel that if it stays at about the same pace that it is now, would that be more of a benefit or kind of a detraction from new players?
Honestly, I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, you could do a couple leagues, and if you're just starting out in the profession, you could get up to like level 10, no problem at all. And I think it just progressed, like, the more, obviously, it takes longer to get to the higher levels. But I think with what it was, prior to them fixing it, was, they can't do any worse than that. So. I think if they keep it same or adjust it to make it even a little bit faster, I think new players will be just fine.
Alright, well, if you were to give any suggestions to the developers, like if any of them are listening in, what kind of suggestions would you give from your perspective?
I think definitely have more of this little side quests that they had. The very few ones I was able to do. I really enjoyed those, and it kind of gave me an alternative to doing leads and stuff. Allowed me to experience more of the world and more of the characters in the world, which I thought was nice.
Now, was there any features from the last month and a half that you were experiencing? Was there any features that you thought detracted from the game or should be removed?
Well, I mean, I know what they're bringing to the table with A Realm Reborn, and I definitely I didn't like running so much, and I know the world was beautiful, and I know they're redesigning all the maps, but definitely the openness and expansiveness and nothing in that expansive world kind of detracted from me.
I do believe that they're shrinking the size of the individual zones and adding more content to each individual zone.
Which is good, because that needs to be done, I think.
Definitely would make exploring much more interesting.
Yes. I think how it was before, they were too big and too barren, and it made it hard. I think it makes it hard for new players to want to go to the different areas because it takes so long to travel, especially when you get that one mission where you have to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and by the end of it you're just pulling your hair out because you just spent the past hour running back and forth between each zone.
That makes sense. I just have 2 more questions for you here. Apparently PvP is pretty popular amongst players in the North American bracket. What are your thoughts on PvP?
I've never been really much of a PvPer in MMOs. I do play multiplayer games. I used to play League of Legends and stuff. But as far as in MMOs, I've never been really sort of interested in the PvP aspect side of things. I've just always had a preference for PvP and role playing.
Alright, and last but not least, what is the one thing you are most excited for Realm Reborn?
That's a tough question. Probably being able to see everyone's characters in the game and getting to start officially role playing again. That's what I'm excited for.
Alright, well, did you have any final shoutouts before we close the show for the day?
Not really. Actually, I was going to comment on the Final Fantasy announcement from the PlayStation 4 conference. Hopefully, it has nothing to do with 13. I'd like to see possibly a Realm Reborn being announced for PlayStation 4 as well as PS3, and then possibly Final Fantasy 15 maybe. That'd be pretty cool.
If it's my theory, it's probably not if they're going to do Final Fantasy 14 Realm Reborn for the PlayStation 4. They did promise they would release it for PlayStation 3 first, and from the sounds of it, you can basically have your PlayStation 3 and 4 hooked up together or something, and it'll play it like a stream or something, so who knows how that'll work.
Interesting.
We'll get more technical details as the PlayStation 4 gets closer to launch, so we'll know more then. Well, that's all we have for today's show. As always, you can leave any positive or negative comments in the box below. You can follow me on Twitter, @NelCelestine. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And you can send me screenshots or topic suggestions over a private message on YouTube or on the official Lodestone topic. This is Nel Celestine, bidding you adieu.